All right, we are live. Welcome, DoorGrow hackers, to the DoorGrow Show. If you are a property management entrepreneur that wants to add doors, make a difference, increase revenue, help others, impact lives, and you're interested in growing your business and life, and you're open to doing things a bit differently, then you are a DoorGrow hacker. DoorGrow hackers love the opportunities, daily variety, unique challenges, and freedom that property management brings. Many in real estate think you're crazy for doing it. You think they're crazy for not, because you realize that property management is the ultimate high trust gateway to real estate deals, relationships, and residual income. At DoorGrow, we are on a mission to transform property management business owners and their businesses. We want to transform the industry, eliminate the BS, build awareness, change the perception, expand the market, and help the best property management entrepreneurs win. I'm your host, property management growth expert, Jason Hull, the founder and CEO of DoorGrow. Now let's get into the show. Okay, so this question came up on my Wednesday coaching call today with the mastermind group. And it was right at the end, but this is such a common question. And this isn't even a growth related question. Our Wednesday call is a growth call. We usually focus on adding doors. We had some great wins and things shared, but at the end, one of our clients was like, hey, I got a question. I don't know if I should wait till Friday to ask this during your scale call where it's operations. Even though I'm focused on growth, I've got a problem that I need to deal with. And I said, what is it about? And it was about phones. So we're going to talk about phones today because this comes up. I'm just surprised how often this comes up, and it comes up often. It's a common challenge is how do you deal with phones? Why phones are expensive? How do we do phones with our team? What phone system should we use? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I've used in the past, what we use currently, what I recommend to property managers that could make sense. So let's talk about phones. Okay, so the challenge is most people nowadays are using, they don't have just a standard phone. They have a phone system, they have a cell phone, and they might have some standard phones in their office, like normal office phone system. But all these things can get really expensive. So we used at DoorGrow, Open Potion, we used Ring Central for a while. So we had this voice over IP phone system. The challenge with systems, like most phone systems nowadays, even if they're voice over IP, used to be, hey, get a voice over IP and system and it could be super cheap, right? But it's not nowadays. Nowadays, it's like you have to have a device and they sell you these devices. So you got to buy a phone. You have to have multiple phones for each desk and each person, and each line in each person usually is like $30 or sometimes $40 a seat. And so you have a team like of 5, you could be shelling out like $40 a person for each line. Then, that adds up. So let's say you've got a team of 5, $40, you spend $200 just on your phone system. Well, in our business, we were spending anywhere from $200 to $300 a month, something like this, a month on phones, and it was really costly. And we were using Ring Central, which is a popular one. It works really well. It gives you tons of features, which is really nice. But we didn't need. We had so many team members that needed to make phone calls, but they weren't on the phone like 24 hours a day. They didn't need unlimited calling. We're making calls all the time. And what was really ridiculous is we all had cell phones. We had unlimited calling on our cell phones. We all had plans where we had unlimited cell phone plans. So it felt really weird that we have unlimited cell phones that we already have, but we just didn't want everybody to have our cell phone numbers because that would have been a mess, right? Having a business where everybody has your cell phone number. So one of the first things property managers will learn really quick in starting their business is you don't want everybody to have your cell phone number. So if every tenant and every owner has your cell phone number, your business you're going to be the biggest bottleneck in your business, and it's going to be a nightmare. So you need to get rid of that phone number, right? You need some sort of solution. So you could port that number into a phone system like Ring Central. And then if anybody calls that number, they're going into your phone system. And then you can leverage your team and whatnot, right? That's one option. But here's what we switched to. So we were using Ring Central, and we switched to a system called TalkRoute, which you can get to by going to TalkRoute, ROUTE.com. The reason I like TalkRoute is I tested a lot of different phone systems. One of the biggest challenges with modern phone systems or voice over IP or VoIP or digitally based phone systems is latency. Latency means like lag, delay. If you've ever been on a bad phone system or bad VoIP system and experienced delay, it feels like you say hi and then 2 seconds later they hear it. And so then what ends up happening because of that latency, that lag of even a second, it causes you both to speak over each other. So let's say we're having a conversation. Somebody's like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, then if you don't hear them respond for like 2 seconds or a second, you're like, that's uncomfortable. It's weird. That awkwardness, that's because of there's lag, there's latency, and then they're going to start talking, and you might not realize they start talking, so you start talking, and then you're going to end up talking over each other all the time. You'll think there's a gap, and you'll start talking, but they won't realize that you didn't say anything, and so they'll continue talking, and then you're talking over them, and then you end up stepping on each other's toes, and it's a really awkward way to have a conversation. And so what I did when I was looking at phone systems is, and testing them, I would do a trial, do a demo, do a test, and I would set up the phone system so I could call my cell phone with that system or call the system with my cell phone and talk. And I would say hi. And I'd listen to the other one. I say hi and listen to the other one. And I wanted to see how quick or how long it took for me to hear what I just said. How quick was it? If it's like hi, hey, that's pretty fast. That's low latency. You can have a conversation and, it's routing through the magical internet or wires or whatever, and they're getting it quick enough that you can have a conversation and it's not going to cause that delay of stepping on each other's toes. Now, very few phone systems passed what I call that delay or lag test. So that's the first thing I would recommend when you're looking at a phone system is do a test and see what the lag is. See what the delay time is. Now, sometimes their servers and your internet are going to play factor to this. So sometimes some phone systems will work better just simply because you have better internet, you have a better router. Some of these ping times or latencies or lags or whatever could be caused simply because you have a crappy device running your internet in your office or at your home. And so you need to have a really good device that can handle a lot of connections and a lot really good internet connection. So sometimes it's just about getting a better router and not just using your internet modem that's like providing the service. A lot of times internet providers nowadays will give you a modem that has a router built into it and it's doing everything. It's your Wi-Fi, it's your router, and it's your modem connecting you to the service for internet, and usually it's crappy. It's like they're doing the cheapest thing they can get all put together, and it's a jack of all trades and a master of none. And usually most homes nowadays or offices have multiple Apple Watches and iPhones and iPads and phones and cameras and all sorts of things utilizing this network with the Internet of Things. Everything's connected, and it's just a lot. My house has a ton of stuff. Even light bulbs are hooked on the Wi-Fi, so I can talk to my phone and tell things to turn on and off, right? So there's so many devices connected. Usually routers struggle to handle all the device connections and to deal with that. So it's usually just the chipset on the router is not strong enough to handle all of these devices talking at the same time and communicating, even if they're not using very much internet bandwidth. And sometimes that's a bottleneck. So first, make sure you have a really good internet connection. Now, TalkRoute, why I like TalkRoute as a phone system, you pay one flat fee for their entire service. And then instead of them giving you a bunch of devices, they give you an app that you can install on your phone, and you can make calls through your cell phone using your cell phone minutes. So if your outbound calls, cell phone calls are good and you like how they sound and they work fine, which everybody's cell phone calls generally work really well. Those are great networks. That's what you're going to be using. You're just going to be making a cell phone call, and there's no latency at all. Inbound calls will route through the TalkRoute system, then to your cell phone, and you can choose to accept that call if you have them route to you, right? So you can have an auto attendant, you can have unlimited extensions, you can assign extensions to every cell phone in your office or every person in your office. Some real estate offices, for example, will use TalkRoute, and I think they give you unlimited extensions, something like this. So you can assign an extension for every available property and put a little voice message on there saying, hey, this property is really great, you should walk around in it, blah blah blah, right? So you can record messages, and then you can put these extension numbers on every single property. You can just put a number up on the yard sign or on the brochure or whatever, and people call this number, dial this extension to hear a message about this property. So you can build it out really awesome. You can port your numbers in. So if you have a cell phone that too many people have, port that number in. Once it's ported and that number's in that system, now nobody can reach you. They can reach the system. Go get yourself a better cell phone number that nobody knows, and only give it out to sacred, well-trusted people. Treat this number like it's sacred. Only give it out to family, maybe really good friends, nobody else. You need to protect and insulate yourself and protect yourself from giving out your phone number to everybody, right? As a business owner, in order to leverage a team, have a team and to offload and have this dream of only having the 4 reasons, as I've talked about on a previous episode, of fulfillment, freedom, contribution, and support, where you get to do the things you want to enjoy and not do everything in the business, you need to have leverage. And one of the ways to have leverage is you can't be reachable by everybody by phone immediately. You need to have protection and support. You need to protect yourself. How do you protect yourself? When it comes to phone calls, you have to set up barriers so that people can't just reach you directly. It's cool. They should be able to reach somebody directly. That's fine. Or at the very least an auto attendant, and it can route to people. They should not immediately nobody should be able to just reach you directly if you want this business to scale and business to grow. So TalkRoute has an app on your phone. You can choose a number to dial. You can get text messages at this number. You can choose which of the phone numbers you have linked to TalkRoute you want to show up on the caller ID for your outbound calling. And that's the only number they're going to see. You initiate a phone call. It calls in via your cell phone to TalkRoute and then dials that number, initiates the call. TalkRoute knows that it's you, that you're going to be calling that number, so it just makes it all happen magically. And they don't see your cell phone number, your personal cell phone number. They only see on their caller ID that they're getting a call from XYZ Property Management or whatever the caller ID thing that you have set up for that number. They just see that number, your main business number, or you could even assign a phone number to each of your team members, or just assign an extension and have the outbound number always be the same number. And they call in and they can hear an auto attendant, push 1 for sales, 2 for support, etc. Right? So I recommend you check out TalkRoute. When I did testing, we've had no problems with latency. All of my team used that for phone calls except for our sales side of the business. And myself, we use our sales CRM, which has calling built into it. I use a CRM called Close, which is really expensive on a per seat basis. But for most of my team, we use TalkRoute, and that's how we can get business and send business text messages. We can do phone calls through that. We have extensions. We have auto attendants. We have multiple 800 numbers for different businesses. So all of that feeds into one system, and it's very easy to manage through TalkRoute's web app. You just go to talkroute.com, I log in, and then I can just customize everything. I can make sure everybody has their voicemails and voice messages recorded, and I have the tree structure mapped out, and it's easy to record. It's really well thought out, and it works really well, and the audio quality is fantastic. So highly recommend that you get TalkRoute. So TalkRoute, I have a lot of phone numbers and a lot of things going on that now for all the stuff that we have going on underneath all my open potion companies, and including DoorGrow. I think our bill is like still under $100 a month. Like it's a fraction. And I think initially we were spending like maybe 70, $80. Like it was really cheap. So we were saving, probably maybe even $300. I don't know. We were saving hundreds of dollars over our previous phone setup because we had a large team and everybody had to have extensions, and they were charging us 30 or $40 per person. Um, and now it's a fraction of the cost. So, and most of you operate and live off your cell phones anyway. You just want to protect that cell phone number, and then you can make those outbound calls but not give out your cell phone number. And you can still receive and send text messages through the DoorGrow app if necessary. Some of you have sales CRMs that will shield and mask your phone numbers as well, maybe like Lead Simple. So I recommend that you utilize those tools, protect and insulate yourself, and get a really good phone system. Now, there are other phone voice over IP systems out there. Some require more work on your end. Some are going to give you a lot more hand holding and have really good reviews for taking care of people. There's Nextiva, which I always found had really aggressive sales tactics, but they had really high ratings. There's Jive, which has really great ratings for a long time, and maybe still is number one because their customer service level was top notch. They would really hold your hand. I didn't find they had a really aggressive, annoying salespeople, and so I really liked them, and they would walk people through it. And then there's Ring Central, which gives you a lot of features and benefits. They're affordable, but still it's a lot more expensive than something like DoorGrow. And so DoorGrow is the winner for us because we're a virtual company. And I think any companies where you have a lot of team members on the go, everybody has cell phones, you're on the move, DoorGrow would be a great system for most property management businesses. So that is my recommendation. So nobody has to ask me about phone systems anymore. I can say watch my episode on phone systems and protecting your cell phone number as a property manager. That is this episode. So anyway, if you're struggling to grow your business, you are wanting to implement best practices, you're wanting to set up a business that's scalable, you want to be adding doors quickly and easily instead of losing doors right now due to the sell-off that's happening. Our clients are adding doors. Clients are showing up on Wednesday calls and they're our growth call, and they're celebrating and sharing their wins. And a lot of them are only investing a part-time level of hours a week towards growth. That's it. Like my bare minimum requirement, if you want to join this program, is you have to be willing to block out at least 10 hours to grow your business a week. That's basically 2 hours a day. It'll take you less time doing the strategies I give you than it would take to follow up if I gave you a bunch of leads. If I gave you a bunch of leads, that would be terrible because it takes a lot of time. These are cold. You'd have to nurture them, and you'll spend far more than just 10 hours a week if I even gave you 10 leads of follow-up and time to nurture, and you probably only get one deal a week. My clients are adding multiple doors very quickly, and the bare minimum that I tell them is just do 2 hours a day. It's 10 hours a week using the strategies that I give you to grow, and it's really effective. And so anyway, reach out if you're interested in growing and scaling your business. If you're a larger company, I love working with those. If you are in the 200 to 400 door range, what I call the second sand trap, you're trapped, you're stuck, you feel like you're the biggest bottleneck in the business. You wish just everybody would just be smart enough to do everything on your team, and you're frustrated. You are the problem. I know that's the sad news. So let me help you figure out how you can become the entrepreneur that has the business of your dreams and the team of your dreams so that you can trust them. You probably have a cultural mismatch. You probably have maybe people that know how to do a job and follow tasks, but you don't trust them deep down. You don't trust them because you don't have the right cultural foundation in your business. You don't have believers. You don't have people that you can trust to do things the way that you would do them, which is why you haven't given them more or handed things off to them or relegated or delegated or given up your decision making in certain areas of the business, and you're holding on to it too tightly. I will teach you how you can offload those pieces, let go of those things, and trust people to run your business, pieces of your business for you, especially the areas that they would be better at than you because you don't really enjoy those pieces. And then we can get you closer and closer in alignment towards those 4 reasons so you really love your business. So if you're dealing with that, we can also help you with that in our DoorGrow and Scale Mastermind. And so reach out, chat with us. I'd love to help you grow your business. And we're making some big changes right now at DoorGrow, which is really exciting. And we're improving our programs that we're constantly improving, but we're making some big changes to them, and clients are getting even faster momentum. And if you'd love to be part of that, you want to have a coach in your corner. You want to feel like you're not all on your own. You want to feel like it's not just you against the world and trying to get your business going and you feel stuck. If you want some support, reach out. We'd be happy to help you. This is what we do. We love helping our clients succeed and win here at DoorGrow. So reach out. You can find us at doorgrow.com. Anyway, or reach out to us on any social media. Just search for DoorGrow. You'll find us. So anyway, that's it for today. So make sure you get a really good phone system in place to insulate and protect yourself and present a very presentable professional image. And until next time, to our mutual growth. Bye, everyone.